What's up, guys? J.S Garrett here, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about a commonly asked question as well as a commonly stated thing in the occult community, dealing with people who are into spiritualism of all shapes and forms, especially the esoteric communities. Okay, the number one thing that these people will claim to be is an empath. Okay, saying, I am an empath. I will get messages from people saying, hello, JS, my name is blah, 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 and I am an empath. Okay, so this guy on my on Facebook sends me a question. Why does everyone claim to be an empath? I mean, seriously, it's not that great. Laugh my ass off. All right, Nick's Morningstar, that is who posted this. And, you know, you're absolutely right, Morningstar. Being an empath is not that great. If anything, it's a fucking disability, okay? It's not something to brag about. And most people will say, I am so-and-so and I am an empath. They will wear that as a badge of honor, okay? Like that makes them something special, along with every other new age butt pussy in the occult community. So I just want to touch on this for a minute. Okay, so think about it. Saying my name is so-and-so and I am an empath is like saying, hi, my name is J.S. Garrett and I have a lot of feelings. I have so many feelings that I feel other people's feelings. And even when there's nothing wrong with me in my life, I will curl up in the corner and cry for somebody else who is having lots of feelings. It makes no sense to me. It makes sense to me that people who wear the badge of empath, like it's a badge of honor, are people who feed off of other people's pain and suffering. Okay, so even when there's nothing wrong in your life, when there's nothing to cry about, no, you're going to go find somebody else who's got a problem and you're going to cry about their shit. Okay, that is called being a vampire. Someone who feeds off of other people's pain and suffering, because we're all vampires in one way or another. Some people feed off envy, some people feed off gratitude, you know, some people feed off of fucking empathy, some people feed off pain and suffering, some people feed off war and carnage, others feed off love. We all have something that gives us our fix, okay? And so when it comes to being an empath, you're either feeding off of other people's pain and suffering, or you are making yourself an easy target for sympathy vampires to leech onto and feed off of. Okay, somebody who is addicted to sympathy, a person who feeds off of other people's sympathy, that is always crying about what it is that makes their butt hurt that day, so that an empath will empathize and sympathize with them and give them that emotional fix. Okay, either way, it's not a good thing. Being an empath is not a good thing. It's either a fucking predatory thing where you're feeding off pain and suffering, or it's a weakness where other people are feeding off your sympathy. So I want to say that most people who are attracted to the esoteric sciences or who practice other types of more in-depth spirituality are very empathetic, in that whenever they interact with somebody, they can tap into and feel that person's emotions. So when someone is in pain, when they are suffering, you can feel that pain just like it is your own. Okay, that is having empathy, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually can be a very good thing when you are trying to help someone so that you can understand what they're going through. My thing is, whenever you're wearing that like a badge of honor, going around saying, I am an empath, I am an empath, you're either looking for a victim to suck the pain and suffering out of, or you're begging for someone to dig their leechy claws into you so that they can feed off of your sympathy. So my point is that empath equals victim or predator. So beware of anyone who is wearing this like a badge of honor, because it's not a good thing, no matter which way you cut it. And as a small child, I was very empathetic. to anyone that I would talk to. And I had the ability to tap into other people's emotions when I would interact with them. And whenever they were going through something terrible, I would be able to tap into that and feel it as my own. And I recognized this very quickly as being a weakness, because that meant that other people's weakness, other people's pain and suffering that was bringing them to their knees was affecting me and compelling me to drop to my knees and fucking cry for them. Okay, that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing at all. If anything, you need to learn how to block that out. I'm not saying not to feel for somebody, not to empathize with somebody to an extent or have sympathy for someone who's in pain, but you don't want to take that pain on as your own burden. Because if you're taking that pain on as your own fucking burden, then how are you ever going to help this person overcome that pain if you're curled up in a ball crying next to them? It's not going to happen. Okay, so my advice to you people who are out there chanting, I'm an empath, I'm an empath, okay, get the fuck over that shit. All right, seriously, you're not helping anybody, and you're definitely not helping yourself. Learn how to tune that shit out. Become strong enough within yourself to where you are strong enough not to let other people's pain seep into your soul and cause you the same pain. Learn how to recognize that pain and understand what that person is going through, and then learn how to help them overcome that. Okay, that is how you turn empathy into a strength versus being an empath, which equals weakness or spiritual predator. Okay, I'm not telling you guys to be psychopaths. I'm telling you guys not to let that shit seep in to the point where it affects you and makes you weak. Because if you are weak, then you can't help anyone else become stronger. And that is exactly what we're trying to do, is help people become stronger. Okay, so get off the fucking cross. Get off the fucking sympathy bandwagon and quit sucking the fucking sympathy and pain and suffering out of other people so that you can go brag to your friends about it and talk about how you cried next to somebody. No, I want you to talk about how you helped someone go from being a victim to a fucking soldier, from turning from a sheep into a wolf, because that is what we are doing here. We are turning sheep into wolves. All right, so that is all I have to say on the subject of being a professional empath. All right, it's yeah, we're missing the point here, people. So I'm trying to help us get back on track with this and help turn sheep into wolves. I'm J.S. Garrett. Hail the Infernal Empire.